Good evening. It's evening here. There's a little storm brewing, and I thought it would be a great time for me to sit down and do another body language analysis, facial expression analysis. And here we're gonna do Steve Jobs, the idea man. And you can see in most of his pictures that he's a very focused person, a very centered, grounded, I guess you'd say. Um, he has a kind of calm intensity about him, and pretty much all the time. And I'm sure this was very alluring. This is about as fancy as you'll see him voluntarily dress up, I think. He seems to be completely centered on ideas and intellectual things, brain things. And I think he means well. I think he means well. Um, so let's get into it. This is a picture of him as a young man, maybe teenager. Um, they probably had to force him to wear this. I mean, I don't think that he really cared much about his appearance and his clothes and things like that. He always was focused on ideas, it seems, just from looking at his facial expressions. A lot of times you see him in pictures with products or making products or thinking about the products he'll make. And, but here he has kind of a childish innocence in his face, his expression. It's not much there yet, but it's kind of looking toward the future, I think. Well, people have already become amazed with him because they're taking this picture, but he's once again looking towards the future, looking towards the next thing. He seems perplexed by some problem that he sees that he may not be able to solve, stroking his chin, his face, and staring off into space. He always looks neat, he always looks clean, but he doesn't ever look as if he's trying to present himself to anybody in any kind of way. He has very strong personality, but inadvertently. Um, yeah, the idea, man. What's the idea? He's kind of clutching his thigh. I mean, he's really trying to get at this, and you can tell because of I don't know. He seems out of control of his body in this particular moment, whether it be his gaze or what his hands are doing, how he's sitting. Intensity. Oh, but this is the same shoot. Somebody said something to him. They probably said, "Hey, man, you're doing a photo shoot. Stop thinking about that next idea." And he probably laughed. Probably a little bashful because he's probably been told that his whole life. Look up here, you know. And I'm sure being around him in these moments where he wasn't thinking about the next idea were probably very pleasant. Because I'm sure he could probably be unpleasant in those moments when he felt like he had some kind of problem in his mind, um, and everybody else probably was a distraction. You know, nice picture. It looks as if he's supposed to be relaxing, but he's still not relaxing. In the moment where he should be just having a beer talking about sports, he's trying to explain, quantum physics or some shit like that. And, you know, let's take a picture anyway. Obviously, it's likely a photo shoot, but it might not be. It might just be him at home moving. It looks like some stuff is on the floor, some boxes. I don't know. I'm not looking at any of the articles or captions of these pictures. I just take the pictures and start talking about them. So I don't know what this is, but it looks like he's this is his best attempt at relaxing. um, I wouldn't say he's intimidating. He's not intense like that, but he's just intense in that he's so single-minded, and so it seems like it might be hard to break him out of his own thought process, which is all right. Some people are like that. He's just posing here. Got kind of a little smirk, kind of devious, but not really. Like I said, he's not really an intimidating person, and the ideas that he brought forth aren't really particularly intimidating. I think he was trying to be helpful for the most part. Whether his ideas have been helpful or not, that's not for me to say, especially not in this particular video. That's not what it's about. But there's a cockiness to it. Yeah, I mean, he's liking being observed in this moment. Maybe he thinks his hair looks nice. It seems very, very done up. I don't know if he did it himself. I don't think he did his hair himself in this picture. I think somebody did his hair for him. He had a stylist. But I don't know. I don't really like this picture of him. It's a little smug. Not necessarily the most honest picture, but it's another side of him. How to take people as they are, wholly. Here's a picture of him. I'm imagining for some article being celebrated, dressed plainly, yes. Probably interrupting him. He probably feels like he's been. He looks like he feels like he's been being interrupted. Like you don't understand what I'm doing. Why are you taking this photo? You don't even know what I'm talking about. And I guess when you're young, you probably feel that way. But then, as you can see by the little, inset of him as an older person, as he got older, I think he enjoyed explaining what he understood about what he was doing. But in this photo, I think he's just preoccupied, maybe a little jaded already, maybe just focused. He's a hard person to read. He doesn't really express himself too much. But his hair doesn't look as good as the other photos, so I know that other photo was styled. I think this is his sense of humor. I think when you're very single-minded, even something like humor can be an obsession. So I'm sure that when he did want to be humorous, he was probably extremely funny. I'm sure it was a very rare occurrence, but I'm sure that he could make anybody laugh. I know he had a daughter, so when you have a daughter, a little sister, a little niece, or whatever, one of the things as a man you love is to be a damn clown and to make them laugh. There's nothing more than women giggling that makes a man happy. I mean, there's nothing better than it. When you're the source of women giggling, it's just such a great feeling. And I think Steve Jobs, I'm sorry, um, even though he wasn't a particularly handsome man, he was a good-looking guy. Some people probably would say he was really, really handsome. I don't know, but I don't know if he was the smoothest guy. So probably his ideas in these moments of humility and humor for Steve Jobs. In those moments, he probably could be very charming, and I think this is probably one of those things he probably enjoyed having these silly glasses on, and hey, showing his teeth. So a little moment of innocence. His eyes look happy. His face is round and his eyes look happy. And his posture is relaxed. Steve Jobs, Apple Computers on the badge. Looking very 80s or 70s even. Very focused. They caught him in the rare time where he's kind of off guard. I think most of the pictures you see of him, he's allowing people to take. I get the feeling that he did not allow a lot of people to be snapping pictures of him all the time. Probably didn't really have that kind of vanity in that regard, at least. And they got him. They got him in this one. They got the real Steve. And he's pretty intense. I like it. You know, I like to see people who are focused, set, dead set on something, on a goal. And I think this seems like a moment where he's maybe watching people evaluate his work. So he's probably evaluating them while they're evaluating his work. He doesn't seem like a person who really respected a lot of people's opinions, and I don't mean that in any kind of cruel or pompous way, but you know, he's a person who worked a lot, spent a lot of time mentally working. And if that wasn't something that you were doing or there was evidence that you were doing, I don't see why he would see a reason to respect you. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's pretty beautiful outside. Tip tap, pitter patter. Let me close the window here. Just getting water inside. I think this is one of my favorite pictures of him. Even though you can't see his face straight on, it's a profile, but it says a lot about him. It's a defensive posture, almost. Not an offensive posture, but a defensive posture, ready to strike. And with that, this is gonna, I think there's a few more. Oh, look at that, he's relaxed. Finally. Look how handsome he is. This has gotta be a woman that took this photo. He's got no shoes on. They're at the kitchen table. Probably been making love. Look at that. Sorry. Yeah, he's got some passion in his eyes. He put his hair together real good for this lady. Oh yeah, smooth Steve. Smooth Steve right there. These aren't in chronological order, but you can tell when some of them are from the same era. I think that might be the same shirt as this photo, except he has an undershirt on there. He's happy. Whatever woman he's with, if he's with a woman right now, whoever he's dealing with, she's making him happy. And it's always nice to see people like that. His eyes look happy. He doesn't have that exhausted, defensive, mentally debilitated look in his eyes. Looks like he has something else to live for other than his ideas. Yeah. Oh, but maybe this is the time when he had his daughter. Maybe this is the height of love, the height of his daughter. I mean, even if you cover the face of the girl, you can see that he's looking at something or someone he loves. He's very proud. And this seems to be a period in his life when he's very happy. You don't get the idea that his mind is not there. He's totally focused on this young lady. He's preoccupied with her rather than his own ideas. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, she's grown up now, though. Back to the ideas. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me. Allergy season. Anyway, he's holding his baby, his other baby, in his mind. In his arms, I mean, not his mind. You know, there's a difference between the pride that a man has for his children and for his ideas. You know, that's a sincere look right there. But this is a look like, look what I did. Yeah, this is my creation. It's a different type of idea. You know, still proud, but a different type of thing. This is Elder Steve. He knows what he wants. He knows what he wants from himself. He knows what he wants from you. He knows what he wants to see. He's not trying to impress you. He may not think much of other people when, he doesn't really dress to impress, which I wish he did. I wonder what his style would really be. I think he probably should have got into that at some point, maybe, but it's okay. Um, I guess his style is portrayed in the products that he brings, that he creates. He looks like he's assessing somebody else or something else. At this point, I think he's overseeing a lot of people, probably a lot of younger people who he believes are like him. Maybe he's like a father figure, um, employer in an employer type of sense. Um, he looks a little smug, but that's okay. There's not much to be seen by a close up look at Steve Jobs' face. I'm not sure where they took this picture. I guess, I don't know. I don't really see much. I don't think he's necessarily a emotive or creative, even person, necessarily. So there's not much to see by looking deep in his eyes or at his face or anything. He's a processor. He processes things very well and gathers information and gives some input and some output, puts it together. And that's what I see. I see a processor. This looks like it's from the happy time with his daughter and whoever the lady was who was rocking his world. Um, the other guy looks super happy and he looks like, I want to get back to my daughter and my lady. This is just routine for him. I don't know. I guess this other guy's in a lot of pictures. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Steve Jobs a whole lot. Just know he's very famous for what he did with Apple and all that stuff. But yeah, this is work. This isn't what he's living for, particularly at this time. He may not even want to take this picture, but he's here because of an obligation. It seems it's become a bit routine. He knows what he's doing. It's just work. Now this other guy, he's got the damn Apple logo on his belt, so he's still into this. He's still into this deep. He may not have that happiness that Steve is enjoying. And even though this guy has the big smile and Steve has kind of a solemn face, I think Steve is expressing more happiness, more understanding. And this is the last photo of Steve that I have here. Still not trying to dress to impress. Still not trying to even get a haircut to impress. He's like, I'm Steve Jobs. I got good ideas. That's what I'm for. And there's a great variation of people in this world, and I think that Steve Jobs was, another personality to add to the bank of personalities that people have. I've met a lot of people that are like this guy, and a good number of them have actually mentioned him. Um, good number of them are actually computer people. So I know this person is very admired in that world of electronic ideas and everything. Um, and you meet a lot of people who have his personality. So yeah, this is Steve Jobs. Thanks for watching.